Recording ready. Oh, okay. So I gotta be in my best behavior now. Did you start?
Yes. I think we're waiting for one more person.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a traffic light that says that she
Oh,
might be on the way.
yeah, sure.
Just another couple of minutes, so. Gives us some time to be on our mobiles before we give you our full attention. And you're training a class full of ladies today, yeah?
Okay, lucky me.
Because actually the one that's coming, Miss Darshni, was supposed to come with the one yang abang dia.
Ah, betul, Uman.
Yeah, so she didn't know.
Oh.
She went to pick her up and then she's now late.
Oh, I see.
Normally I don't train with slides.
All right. But I think it's one of the requirements, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a requirement. I don't train with slides, so I
Yeah, it's been, when I did my PTT, I didn't need to do accreditation, so I got lucky.
I see.
I have to do it now, of course, to keep the certificate current, yeah?
So it's like a yearly renewal. What is that? Yeah.
2 years, right?
2 years.
I was doing training in Asia Pac and Europe and in Myanmar, North America. But you don't need HRDF and all these things. But I'm a global certified trainer.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And it's a shame that they don't, it's
Yeah.
not transferable, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Yeah,
You already have a global one.
correct. So, I mean, you can train here, it's just that you can't do a training that's HRDF global. If you are globally certified, that's the difference. So some companies, I think, can still train for,
Yeah.
because they have in-house training programs
Yeah.
and, you know,
Yeah.
like Maybank, for example, they have their own academy,
Right.
right?
Because I'm also contracted with this company based off from Amsterdam called Paya. So
Paya. The buyer.
So they contract me to do trainings for them. So I do training for Asia Pac and Europe. So they have got because that's also like a training company, and they have got clients like BCG Consulting and all that, right? So and the clients are like global clients. So if they want to do training for Asia Pac or Europe, which suits my timing, so they will contract me, and I do online training.
Right, so you travel to do training?
No, online training.
Online training,
Yeah.
all right.
So it's like 4 hours session.
Let me just go and check where she is, yeah? I mean, I think she should be here. I just want to make sure she doesn't get lost coming up.
Is the aircon temperature okay?
Good.
Yeah, so good.
Cool.
Cool, okay. Let me get the remote first.
I think also because of the weather.
Yeah.
Blowing directly at my head. So in a short time, you're going to see all like, frozen.
This is ours, right?
Yeah. Monday is 16.
Hmm?
16.
Ah.
Yeah. 24. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works.
Space is small.
Yeah.
Do you all like change?
Change?
Change. Like change?
Change, yeah.
Really? Okay. Interesting answer. Can't run away from that.
Happens.
Okay.
Sometimes the way you like it,
Uh-huh.
sometimes the way you don't like it. But still you need it.
You need it, yeah? Mm.
Is that what your topic is about?
Hmm?
Is that what your topic is
Yeah, yeah. My topic is about change. But it's really about not so much. I mean, this is supposed to be about middle managers and all, but I think the way I've structured it is also for your own personal change. Like, because it's before we go and handle all the things outside, we got to handle ourselves, right? So it's really about that, and I do this program, a 2 days program when I was in Maybank. So we call it self-leadership, personal leadership. And we really look at your own, the changes that we have gone through. I'll do a glimpse of that here because that is a 2-day program. So I'll try and do it in half an hour. So that is one part of this program that I want to, bring in. And doesn't have slides, nothing. It's just. So then you will see with that, and you will see how, like what you say, we need to get comfortable with change because we have always been handling change in our lives every single day. Right? But it's interesting to see that even though we have been so used to this, yet when a new change happens, we still get to it.
Yeah, it's so it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's funny. And that's how we are wired. When there's something new, right? Automatically the brain sends a signal to say, hey, there's danger. Yeah. And then when it's danger, there's three responses, right? Fight, flight, or freeze. Right? So, and then after that, once you kind of used to it, and then you can,
You adapt to it.
yeah, what do I do? Right? So the question really is, how do you shorten that? What do I do?
Yeah.
That's really what changes. Because some people like, and then they stay at that for a long time, right? Some people, I don't want, and then run away and they never come back, right? So it's really about, you will get into a shock. How do you quickly, come on and think of what's only then you can adapt, right? Because you guys, especially I see that you guys are very young, and now with this AI coming into the picture, right? There's a lot of challenges in front, right? So
that's the biggest change now, like this current generation, especially. Because everything is AI related.
yeah, I'm like going into the sunset, so I'm dedicated to the AI still, Maybe we can start first and then whoever can join. Otherwise, it's going to drag on. Maybe we start.
So, unfortunately, at this time of day, parking is
Ya,
a bit of a nightmare.
at this time pula memang tak ada parking.
20 minutes makes a big difference.
Ya, sangat.
Because we have other colleagues here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we start record again?
Oh, is it recording, not recording?
Ya, sekarang aku masih tengah record.
Oh.
No, we can
Continue je.
continue with
Oh,
study later.
okay. So do I do like a formal introduction or?
How would you start your training? Just forget that the camera's there.
Okay, we're feeling a bit nervous with the camera running there. Anyway, welcome everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Muniz. I've been doing this work for quite a while now. I've been in 4 organizations prior to this. Yeah, I started out my career back in the late 80s, 1989. And some of you probably wouldn't be born, I think. 1989, I was.
You'd be surprised.
I started off in Pricewaterhouse. Very quickly, I realized that I'm not an accountant. And then I decided this is not what I want to do. I'll do something else. And then I joined Maybank, and I was in Maybank for 28 years. 28 years. Yeah, so I was in the business, and then eventually I went into HR. But I wasn't in the same department for 28 years. Every 3 years, I do something else. So this topic, dealing with change, is very close to my heart because I purposely put myself into change all the time. So every 3 years, when I go into a role, every 3 years I'll tell myself I'm going to do something else after 3 years. So like that, my whole career, I've been in the corporate world for about 35 years. And every 3 years I've changed something into something different. Yeah, so I think this, yeah. Yes, please come.
Is it here?
Yeah.
That was it.
No problem.
Come, you sit here.
There you go.
Well, I'm just doing a bit of an introduction. So have you ever started?
Yeah, you haven't missed anything, it's okay.
Okay, thanks.
So again, yeah, my name is Muniz. You will do an introduction about all of your so yeah, I've been in Pricewaterhouse, and then I joined Maybank, and I was in Maybank for 28 years. And then after that, after 20 years, because one of the things that I did in Maybank was I was a coach, and I was also a trainer. And then I realized, being a coach, I always ask the leaders, right, coaching the leaders, say, take a leap of faith, do something different. And I look at myself, hey, you're preaching and you're not talking, you're not even walking the talk, right? So I decided to leave Maybank, even though I've been like moving from, every 3 years, I've been doing something different in Maybank. So I left, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I decided, hey, you know what, I'll take a break. And that's when, before that in Maybank, I got Shireen was mine and all that. So I decided, hey, what do I do, right? And then suddenly I got a call from Australia and asking me to go and hit the leadership development side for Sibelco. Sibelco is a Belgian-based company, manufacturing company. So I was doing training in Asia Pac, going around different parts of Asia and doing the trainings in different locations for 3 years or so. Then after that, I decided to leave that company and join NCR Corporation. NCR is the guys who do your ATM, when you withdraw money, right, and all your point of sale machines. So we are the manufacturers of those machines and also the software behind it. So I was doing training, but more of global training with NCR. And mostly like online training. Then recently I decided to leave NCR and take a bit of a career break. And this is where I am right now, career break. And thinking, okay, what's next? Yeah, and I realized that training, people development is something that I really love. And I thought maybe this is something that I want to keep going. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Okay? Alright, so today, before we start, let's do this. Let's do something. I'd like to do this called working agreement. Okay? Okay, so for this session to be useful for you, alright, what do you think that needs to happen here for it to be useful for you? How do you need to be?
Pay attention.
Okay. Pay attention, alright. What else? What else that needs to be in order for you to get the maximum value? For you, that needs to be. What you need to be?
To engage.
Engage. I like that, alright. Engage. Or participate. Okay, what else?
Open mind.
Open mind.
Open to new thoughts.
Open mind. Okay. What else?
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Ask questions. Anything else?
Just being flexible.
Being flexible. Be flexible. Ask questions. Right? Okay, flexible. Are you guys comfortable with this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Everyone is okay with this? Okay. Do you think you can give 100% of this? Can?
Yeah.
At least for the next 4 hours?
Sure.
Okay? So what if you don't give this 100%? What do you do? Alright, so anyway, this is just, just to give an idea. So what happens is, we have, and when I do these sessions, used to do these sessions, right, this topic itself takes 2 hours. This topic itself takes 2 hours because sometimes we agree and we say, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, this is all that's needed, right? But then when we are doing things, sometimes we forget. Sometimes suddenly there's an urgent thing on the phone, or suddenly you've got to answer something there, or maybe you need to go out, or maybe you need to chit chat or something like that, right? We forget. And that's what happens in life too. We make certain agreements with ourselves, we make certain agreements with the people around us, but then we forget. Right? And this is the thing about making agreements. When we make agreements and we keep breaking agreements, what happens, do you think?
You lose the trust the person you made an agreement with.
You lose the trust, yes. Okay, let me give you another example. Like, for example, say I invite you to go for lunch today, right? So we make plans and everything, you want to go for lunch, right? And then at 11:30 I come back to you and say, Ishwari, I can't go for lunch today. Can we postpone to tomorrow? Right? Obviously you'll be disappointed, right? You'll say, okay, tomorrow fine, right? Because you value me, and then you say tomorrow is fine, right? And tomorrow comes, right? We all make arrangements and all these things, right? 11:45 I come back to you and say, Shirley, you know what? Something came up. Can we postpone the lunch day after? Okay. And you, because you're such a kind person and so gracious, right? You will say, okay, Munis, we'll postpone it. Okay? And the third day comes, and I come and do the same thing. Right? Okay. What happens to you?
Well, I missed lunch 3 days.
Yes, you miss lunch.
And there's no more chance.
Yeah, there's no more trust, right? What happens to me?
Yeah, well, you don't get to hang out with me.
I don't get to hang out with
You
you.
lost one friend.
Yeah, but what happens deep inside me? There's something happens deep inside me. Serba salah? No, because you see, because I know in my mind, I kept breaking the promises 3 times. In my mind, I know. So inside, right, my self-esteem gets impacted.
What you think of?
Yes. So the next time, the 4th day, if I go and ask you, before I ask you, I think, oh my God, I broke my promise for 3 times. That itself is not healthy for you. That is why making agreements and keeping agreements is very important. Alright? But sometimes we don't do that. We just make agreements and then we forget about it. We don't know that it's going to impact us. Yeah. So that's the power of making agreements. Okay, cool. So this is the working agreements. Alright, you guys are all okay with this? Okay? Alright, today's topic is really leading with change. Now, let me just ask all of you, who loves change? All of you love change?
Really? Oh, I don't.
Love change?
Even though it's
I wouldn't say love it,
Uh-huh.
but I would say it is somehow necessary or
to
like
pushing
you
you
want
to next level.
change at times, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You kind of like,
You need it.
you need it.
Yeah.
You don't like it,
Yeah.
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
okay lah,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, understand.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, it's love-hate relationship, right?
It's necessary evil, right?
Yeah, necessary evil. I don't like it, but it's needed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And most of the time, right, what we do is, when we ask this question, who wants change? Alright? Everybody say, oh, I want change. Because you want to change your situation, right now. Like, for example, whatever situation you want, you are in right now. If you are working for this company, you are say earning say maybe 10,000 ringgit, just say 10,000 ringgit. If somebody offers you 20,000 ringgit, you say, oh yes,
Yeah.
you want that change, right? Or if say you are in a relationship and you want a different relationship, you say, oh yeah, I want a different relationship, or I want a different type of relationship, right? So everybody wants change, and everybody will put out the change. Yeah, I want change, right? But sometimes when you ask the question, right, who wants to change, right? Nobody says, oh, no. Because, say for example, I want a different relationship. What would that require? Different person?
Different version.
Or different perspective, or different way of you looking at that person? Or if you're looking at a job, right? Oh, I'm so miserable in this job, I want a different job. And if you notice, there seems to be a pattern, right? Is it a different job that you need, or maybe a different mindset and a different way of looking at things? Yeah. And sometimes this different way of looking at things and that requires a lot of introspection, and that's tough. Introspection means it's like you need to really look into yourself and ask the tough questions. Yeah, and it can be very painful. Yeah. So change is like you all said, it's necessary, and sometimes it may not be pretty. Yeah. So that's what. So today, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at we do a little bit of welcoming and set some objectives. We're going to talk about some icebreakers that we will do. This icebreaker is, let me see, the icebreaker, we'll figure out how the icebreaker is going to be. Yeah? And then I'll do a little bit of fundamentals of change for mid-level managers. Yeah? And I'll just give you a high-level overview, because this is a 4-hour session, so high-level overview. And then what I would like you to do is think about your own personal change and come up with some strategies on how you're going to handle this. Okay, and this change need not necessarily be things in the workplace. It can be your own personal changes. All right, and then we can come up with some action plans. If you like to share, great. If you don't want to share, it's too personal, that's fine too. Okay, got it? All okay? All right. So it's going to be a very informal session. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be speaking all the time and ask questions and let's have like more of a discussion rather than one way. Yeah, that's how I like it. Yeah. Okay? Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. Now let's go into a quick introduction. What I like to hear from you is a little bit about yourself, and when you say a little bit about yourself, right, I like you to think about something that nobody here knows about you. Something nobody knows about you. Okay? Think about that as you're introducing yourself. And also, what is your own personal experience of change? That's what I need to know. Alright? And what do you expect from this 3 hours session? 3-4 hours session. Got it? Everyone got it? Do you want me to repeat it? Or you got it? Got it? Okay, cool. Who wants to start? I already did my introduction.
But what's something that we don't know about you?
Okay, what you don't know about me? You don't know a lot of things about me. Okay, I am, let me see. I am a mountain climber. Yeah, I went up KK, one of the most difficult climbs last year. Yeah, so I'm a mountain climber. I love going up mountains.
Okay, well, I'll start. My name is Ishwari. One thing you don't know about me, hold on. One thing you don't know about me is I studied law. I did a lot of years of studying law and didn't practice even a single day.
Okay.
Okay. my personal change is I've recently changed industries. I was in PR and now I'm in operations in training company.
Okay. That's quite a big shift.
Yes.
Okay. Are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Or is it still too new?
No, I am enjoying it.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks, Ishwari.
My name is Darshini. I just really go to change. For what reason I didn't change myself? After I did my studies, I've been studying for accounts, diploma in accountancy. Then after that, I didn't even enter any job scope related to my study. So I was been in customer service for many years, but just recently joined a new company as a HR exec.
Okay. Nice. Doing something different than what you studied.
Yes.
Okay. I did that too. I did my masters in IT. But I was doing project management IT for a while. But I'm doing training. Nothing to do with IT. All right. Thank you.
It's my turn, kan? Okay. Something that people don't know about me. I'm a oldest daughter in my family and also cucu sulung on my mom's side. And I'm a homebody person, so I love staying at home. So during COVID-19, I was so enjoying myself during that time. Yeah, so I like doesn't have the comparison to my friend actually. They were going out vacation, but I'm not. I'm staying here. So I was like, okay, everyone is the same now. So everyone's staying at home, kan? So that overthinking, tak ada lah time tu kan. So experience that I lead me to change is I going out from my comfort zone when I reach to my protege working as protege before this. I in training department also. So my supervisor allowed me to approach a lot of people while I'm introvert. I'm staying at home person, so I don't talk a lot to people then. So what lead me to change is that I finally doing my MBTI test again, and then it leads to a good way lah. I'm changing from introvert to extrovert. Finally. So it's something that big to me because it's not easy to adapt with the new situation, right? From staying at home, just doing nothing, and surrounded with family, just suddenly like I need to going out, meet client, meet trainer, and have that PR again. So yeah, it's a big changes for me lah. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So one thing I want to say is people don't change. You must remember, people don't change. People adapt. All right, you are who you are. And if you are an introverted person, you are an introverted person. And there's nothing bad or anything. I'm an introverted person, right? I'm an introverted person. But you can adjust to the environment. Like for example, I'm an introverted person, but when I'm doing training, I put on a show. So I know that I'm putting on a show, right? So because I know I'm just like Michael Jackson. You know Michael Jackson?
Okay.
Michael Jackson is an introverted person, total introvert. But when you see him on stage, do you see him as an introverted person? No. He's putting on a show. So as an introvert, you can do that. Alright? And I'm doing it right now. But it takes a lot of energy. Yes, it takes a lot of energy. Yeah. So that's why you will see introverted persons when they are doing trainings or doing or the AHA and all that, right? They need a bit of recharge time.
Yeah.
So when I do training, after training, I have to go and sit quietly alone.
Yeah, same.
And recharge. Yeah, and that's normal. Okay. Most leaders are introverts. Obama is an introvert. Okay, so nothing wrong being an introvert. Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, my name is is Jasmine. So one thing that no one knows about me is personally, I do not enjoy eating a lot of fruits.
Okay.
So I am very specific with the kind of fruits I eat. I don't know how to enjoy fruits.
Durian.
That's fine, but I only eat it as a fruit and not with anything else. But I do
Okay.
not enjoy like papaya, watermelon, oranges, so very specific fruits. But anyway, the big change that I've just recently had is I just got this job recently and I just started yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. I shifted from being a lecturer. Yeah, I was a lecturer for about 3 years, almost 4. And now I'm currently a trainer, so I shift from the education field into corporate now.
Okay. What, soft skills? You're training on soft skills?
Yes, mostly. Yeah.
Alright. So it's me,
Yeah.
Annie. Alright. So my name is Kanmani. You can call me Annie in short.
Call you in what, in short?
If you can pronounce Kanmani, I don't mind. But if not, it's Annie then.
Ani.
Yeah,
Oh, Ani. Okay.
because I can see some of our non-Indian friends, they have difficulty pronouncing my name. So yeah.
That's a
rather than
nice song, you know?
Yeah,
That's a nice song.
Yeah.
So one thing that people don't know about me is that I love fitness. I love taking care of myself. But what I am lost touch for some time is that because of the heavy schedules and everything, I'm being a bit lazy recently. So I just want to start back on that. And change, I would say I used to be a coffee addict. Like one day probably 2-3 cups or even more. And then my doctor warned me not to drink too much. So I switching to a healthy way, which is drinking a lot of water. And
So you
also
switch to tea.
no, that is not healthy. And currently like more exploring about matcha and stuff because I need some substitute to that, but not exactly coffee. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Alright. Right. Thank you everyone for introducing yourself. Okay. So I hope you know a little bit about each other after this introduction. Okay. So this is what we're gonna kind of, we may not cover everything, but really about understanding, how do you, why is it important to lead change in an organization as middle managers? Yeah, why is it important? But before we can lead another person to change or lead the organization to change, we must be able to lead ourselves to change. Alright? Because it's very easy to say, hey, you are lead the organization, lead the group, lead the team and all that, right? But you are struggling inside, right? It's pretty difficult, right? Yeah. So and we all go through change all the time, and we're going to do a short exercise just to demonstrate that. Yeah, it's a pretty long, it's maybe it take about half an hour, but it's worthwhile, yeah, because that's really talking about the change that you went through. And then what we can do is we can also look at whatever that you went through, your own personal life, and say what were some of the strategies that you developed to go through it. Yeah, bringing that, right? Because I always believe that life is a teacher. It's teaching us all the time, right? And but we must listen. We must listen. We must pay attention, and then we can do something different. If you don't listen to what life is telling you, then you will be like the sampan in the ocean, without any rudder. You just move wherever it takes you. But if you are able to listen to what life is telling you, then you are able to put in something and try and navigate your way. Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about that. There are many models with change, and you can look at it out in the net, right? You've got EDCA model, and you've got Kotler's model, and whatever. Initially, I was thinking maybe I want to do that, but then I was like, I want to make this interesting. I don't want to go into models and all that. Yeah. And how do you build resilience and adaptability, within the team? Because you can only build that within the team if you have it in you. If you don't have it in you, you cannot build it with the team. Plain and simple. And then finally, what are some of the techniques that you can practice? Yeah, that's what we'll talk about. Yeah. We may not cover everything, but we'll try and cover as much as we can. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what I want you to do is when you get out of this room, right, for you to have a fair idea of change happens, right? And it's happened over a period of my whole life, right? And how did I adapt to it? That's all I want you to guys do. Okay? Any questions so far?
No.
All good? Is the pace okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. Alright, let's break the ice. Alright, let's do this. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to take a fresh piece of paper.
Is it okay for you?
Yeah, you can do that. Don't write anything on it yet. Just take a piece of paper. And I want you to flip it and put it on a landscape mode, like what she's doing, landscape, right? And right on top, in the middle, I want you to write your version of this. Change is what for you? So you have a piece of paper, right on top here, say what is it, right on top. What is change for you? Think about it. What is change for you? One sentence. Right? All done?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the next thing I want you to do is, I want you to plot this on your paper, like, two lines like this, right? Y-axis and x-axis. On the y-axis, you just put there positive and negative. So you can even put like 0, 1, 2, or whatever, it's really up to you. Okay? And then here is basically your years. Meaning if you are 60 years old, then you can go up to 60. Yeah, you are 25, instead of 25. We all are 25 in this room, right? So,
Sure.
so you can just say whichever, I want you to do this first. You may want to do it, use the entire,
okay.
yeah, you gotta use the entire paper.
Oh.
Entire people.
All the way. Use the entire paper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Good idea, though. Because I can't draw a straight line to save my life.
I'll kind of see my straight line. It's not straight at all.
You're not going to get brownie points for straight lines. Come on.
Positive, negative, right?
Yeah. So this is like your age, starting from 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way
So
to.
that positive both on y and x axis. 1 and 2 is enough. You don't have to put 3 or enough.
No, just 1 and 2 number.
So for the years, stop at our age ke?
Yeah, let's stop at your age now.
Oh.
I know you are here only, right? You 20 only, kan?
How I wish.
Okay, done?
Zero.
Done. Okay, done. Okay, good. So now, The next phase, right, is for you to, this one is you need to do it in silence. Okay? You need to do it in silence, no discussion. I want you to think about your own personal life, right? And I want you to think about the moments in your life that you can remember. We can call it, this one is a high points. This is low points. The moment in your life where you had high points and you had low points. For example, say when that means when you were say 5 years old in the kindergarten, all right? You know, you met your first boyfriend. What was a high point for you? Like, you know, that's your first boyfriend, right? So you can say, okay, this is my high point for me. You can put an X there and say met first boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Just indicate that. You know, just indicate that, right? Just for you to, you know, remember. And then maybe say at 10 years old, you can remember that, oh, you went to school and then your teacher, you know, praised you and, you know, made you like, you know, this is an example student or whatever. Okay, you felt that. You know, I mentioned that. Okay. Maybe at the age of 20, something else happened, like maybe, you know, someone, the family passed on, or something like that. Right? You mentioned that and put it here. Okay? So you will have some things on top and some things below. Got it? Okay. All okay?
So starting from the years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can use this as a reference. Like, if think about me when I was 5 years old, right? What are some of the things I can remember? Don't think, oh, well, it doesn't have to be, oh, it has to be high point, it has to be anything that comes up. Huh?
Happy moments is
It can be anything. It can be happy moments, it can be not so happy moments, it can be neutral moments, it can like nothing. Anything that comes up, you don't have to filter it. Whatever that you can come up, 5 years old, what happened? Just.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One each, 1 point only, whether high or.
Oh, it's up to you.
or-
You may have like multiple points, maybe first boyfriend, second boyfriend, third boyfriend, what?
Uh,
That's okay.
No, I mean.
Boyfriend is just an example,
there's a
yeah.
high point also a low point for that one.
Yeah, can, no problem, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Alright? Can? Okay, this one needs to be done in silence, no discussion. Okay, I need you to just do a bit of reflective work.
Okay.
Okay? And then start putting it down.
So again, just for clarification. So if let's say on the 5, right, I have a high point, so it is right?
Okay?
And then I don't have any low point on the 5.
That's okay.
Fine.
That's okay.
Alright.
Anything that you can remember only. There was a question here. They said that, oh, if you have a high point here when you're 5 years old, do I have to also put a low point? No. Whatever that you can think, whatever that comes up for you, you can. Some of people only have here, some people can here, some people got both sides. Doesn't matter. Okay, everyone is different. So go ahead and do that. I'll just go and get a drink.
Should I? Feel free.
Hmm?
It must be according to the age itself. Ataupun boleh in between like 5 to 10 to like.
Can. According, age also can, between pun can, anything can.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no
if
problem.
like I got the 7 but to get the 10 is it?
Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. And also sometimes the intensity is, the numbers here, right, talks about the intensity. Like for example, here when you met the first boyfriend, you were happy. But then when you met the second boyfriend, you were more happier than the first one. You know? So it's the intensity. And here also is the same thing, the intensity. Like for example, here you were sad, something happened. This is even more sadder than this. Yeah.
Such a young age.
Yeah. People start young. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is this. So once you have already identified, so you have say something's here, maybe something's here, whatever, right? You have all these events, right? I like you to, what you say is connect the dots. Meaning, say for example, you started here, the next one was here, you go to the next one. The next one was here, you connect here. The next one was here, you go there. Maybe the next one is here, go here, the next one is here, like that. Okay, do that.
Something like a graph.
Yeah, something like a graph. You're doing your own graph. Shuri, nice graph, huh?
Well, that's a lot of years.
So you connect all the dots. Just do that. Just one line, huh? It has to be like connect from one year to another year like that. Maybe Ishwari, you want to show yours so that they know. This is how it should look like, something like that.
Oh.
Something like that.
Like that.
Sabiha, see here, something
Yeah.
like this. Yeah.
So it's just a
One line. all the way.
one line.
Can I see it?
Just connect the dots.
Just connect the dots.
And hopefully you can do it better than I did because I don't have a steady hand.
All done? Done? Okay. Alright. So look at your graph right now. That's your career life map. That's really your career life map. Now if you see, if you look at your career life map, right, you will see like up here is all the high points, right? And these are all the low points, right? Anyone has only this, they only have this on top. Got it? No? All okay. Anyone only has this one, bottom here. So you have the top and the bottom, right? Okay. If you only have the top only, I'm very worried. If you also have only the bottom, then I'm very worried. Yeah? You have to have both. Okay? So when you look at it, right, what comes out for you when you look at this chart? Your career life map. Huh?
Ups and downs of life.
Ups and downs of life. Okay?
Yours
Yours is a bit okay.
It's really like one sentence of
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? You know, but still we are so afraid of change, right? We see like, oh, but you know, you look at that, you have gone through change your entire life. Yeah. Now, the next thing I want you to look at is, I want you to look at this, all these events that has happened in your life. And this itself is like a 3 days training. Just this. When I do in Maybank, it's 3 days training. But we're going to summarize it in about 10 minutes. Okay? I want you to look at that one event in your life, one significant event. Just look at your map and look at it and think about one significant event that comes to you. It can be the high ones or the low ones, doesn't matter. One significant event. And as you are looking at the event, I want you to think about that event, connect with that event, and connect with what was going on with you at that time. what were your emotions like? How did you feel when that event was happening? How did you feel? Okay? Okay. So, when you thought about that event and connected with that event, for a minute, right, when you connected with the event, did you also bring that same emotion that you had during that event back here?
Yeah.
But the event has already happened,
Mm.
but you can still reconnect to it, right? Yeah. So it's likewise, and I'm sure, looking at all your faces, okay, I'm sure when you connected with that event, right, it must be an event that was maybe a bit painful. Correct or not? Yeah? How many have looked at something that was like, oh, this is a wonderful, no, most of you went for an event that was painful. Right? And that's how our brain works. It looks for things that was painful. Because it's registered. Okay? Now, the learning here is, okay, firstly, anyone wants to share that event? Any event that you want to share? Only if you're comfortable.
I think I can. Maybe. So the event that I chose here is that the year 20, I bring back to you the time that the year was 2010. Sorry, 2011. It was the year that I got entered my university. And why I selected university particularly is because I was given an opportunity to study at University Malaysia Sarawak. So my family, growing up as the only daughter, I have a younger brother, but I'm the only daughter, just two of us. So during that time, my father is like super strict and pampered me in the way that only he can take care of me. So he said no to me to go to the university. It's very far. Even if I want to come and meet you, I have to take flight. There's no other way, right? Mode of transportation. So it was like 2 days of negotiation, discussion, anger, sadness of everything, of talking to him. Finally, for 2 days I didn't eat rice. I was like, mogok, tahap, they were at that point. I said, no, I want to go. Like I was so stubborn. I think all my 20 years of stubborn just keep pending and picked up there. And finally he said, okay, fine. Because I'm asking to study. And I was one of the top scorers during my STPM. So I studied hard for that. I earned it. So why are you not letting me? Instead, his idea was to join some local colleges in Penang. I'm from Penang. So yeah, so I said no for that. Why do I earned so hard, so let me go. So it was quite a moment of ups and downs, of filled with emotions. And finally, when I went there, him waving bye to me going to the airport, something felt very bad. I feel like, can I just go with the part? Can I just go? Why am I feeling like this? Like, you feel so stubborn, you want to go there, and when he's feeling like bye to you, like something is going, part of me is going together with him, But at that time, I felt like I had all kind of mixed emotions. I was happy, I was overwhelmed, way far away from family for the very first time, and I can't meet them. And that time no WhatsApp, even nothing, just telecommunication. So basically, you can just hear their voice. You won't even know how they change, if they cut their hair or how they change. You won't even know that. So it was like a very overwhelming point for me, because that's the very first time. Like I said, I've been pampered, never been left out far, not even like half an hour distance. So yeah, I think that was one of the point that I will remember always, especially with my dad. Yeah.
And when you think about that moment, right, what emotions come up for you?
Like I said, it's a huge mix of
Mix
all
of
emotions.
emotions.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
okay.
happy,
Mm.
but I was sad because my part of me is just going away. It's my biggest motivator is going away from me. And I was excited as well to learn what's upcoming, and I was nervous because it's a place of other people. I won't get good food, a lot of things. Yeah.
So that those are all the emotions that you felt at that time.
Exactly.
At that time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But now sitting here, writing this, going back there, what emotions come up for you?
Way happier actually, way happier, and I feel like the choice was hard to make, but I feel happy because I made that choice.
Okay. So you do feel like you've grown as a result.
Definitely, definitely.
And sometimes that's all it takes for us to look back and say, hey, this happened, was painful, was difficult, but look at me right now. Right? Okay. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
Okay, I can as well. This was after I completed my years and years and years of study. I studied in the UK, and I wanted to continue working there as a lawyer, which is what I studied for. But I was denied a work permit and sent me home. I was devastated. So that is it was a turning point. When I came back, I had to decide what was I going to do. I was very upset. I was very disillusioned. I didn't want to practice here, which is why I didn't end up practicing law. That I wanted all my life to be a lawyer, or so I thought. Studied very hard and then faced this. At that time, it felt like this huge disappointment. And I got sent home and I thought, there's no way back from this. And I pivoted my whole career line changed. So yeah, that was a big.
Okay.
I mean, looking back, maybe I could have handled it better, but I think I have no regrets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Only if you're comfortable, there's no false
Yeah,
meaning.
I can share. I'll share two things.
Yes.
I'll share the high point and the low point. So one of the high points was when I was in kindergarten. I remember that was the first time.
Boyfriend.
No, I don't know, but that was the only time I remember eating roti canai. Like my first time eating roti canai. And I don't know what was about the roti canai, but it tasted so good that I can still remember how it tastes like, and it's nothing like the normal roti canai you eat now. And I don't know what roti canai that was in kindergarten, but it was really tasty. Yeah. So that was one of the things I remember. And one of the low points that I had was this is about 2 years ago when talking about my career change and all that, right? So I grew up, since I was small, I always knew I was going to become a teacher. Since I was in primary school, I just knew I was going to grow up and be a teacher. So fast forward after school, parents were like, what do you want to study? And I'm like, I'm going to be a teacher. There was nothing else. There was no options. I did not have a break. I just continued studying. Right after my degree, did my master's, got a job, and then I knew that being a teacher wasn't it. I wanted to be a lecturer. So I applied and I got a job, became a lecturer. I achieved everything I wanted, got great results, got the dream job, and then just last year or 2 years ago, I achieved everything. And then I sat one day and I'm like, okay, then now what? You know, I was like, what more? I already achieved everything that I wanted. I don't know what else. And then the next was to pursue my PhD, but was that really what I wanted? And then I went on a spiral of a quarter life crisis and went through a whole year of figuring out what would I do if I wasn't a lecturer or if I wasn't a teacher. And my answer was, I don't know. I had no idea what I was. And I went through a whole identity quarter life crisis, and I see my friends all doing great and they're all figuring things out, and then it put me into a big spiral. And then I sat and I told myself that I do enjoy teaching, but is this something that I want to be working in a university long term? Maybe not, but I do want something related to the whole theory and teaching aspect, but also something different. So that's why I got this whole career change. Yeah.
Okay, nice, right? Okay. Good. And this is a very interesting exercise, and I got the idea from Steve Jobs actually. So Steve Jobs was actually sharing the speech, right? How Steve Jobs is kind of a successful guy, right? And he said that he went through this whole crisis in his life. At one point when he was like 16, 17, he was jobless, he didn't have food to eat, so he was like, going for handouts, and all sorts of things. And then he didn't know what to do. Same situation like yourself, didn't know what to do. So then what he did, he really don't know what to do, and then he said, you know what, I like calligraphy. The writing, calligraphy.
Yeah.
I like calligraphy, right? So I want to go and learn calligraphy. So he went and learned calligraphy, right? Now you might be wondering, what has calligraphy got to do with his computers and being a? But do you know that is the one that actually gave him this idea about the fonts in Apple, coming up with different types of fonts and all that. It all from there, right? And he didn't know at that time, of course. Okay, he went through that, and he was like, what the hell? I like computers, but then I'm doing calligraphy. Then finally he founded the Apple computers, right? And then once he founded Apple computers, he brought it to a certain stage, and then it became public listed, and then he got let go. He got let go, right? And he was like, oh my God, what do I do right now, right? So he went through another crisis, and then he went and founded Pixar, and a few other companies after that. He became so successful, they invited him back to Apple, and he became the CEO of Apple again, and then blah 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 and all that. So what he is trying to say in that address, right, is saying that as you're going through certain points in your life, right, can be very difficult points, can be very demotivating and whatever not. We don't know what exactly is happening, but life is actually preparing you. And when you come to maybe my age or maybe a little bit older, right, and when you look back and you try and connect the dots like this, then you know, oh my God, all these things that happened before, right, it was actually preparing me for what I am doing right now. So whatever that you are doing right now, don't worry, just keep on doing it, because you only will figure it out later, and as you connect the dots. Yeah. It's the same thing with change. Sometimes you don't know until you connect the dots, and you only can connect the dots once you get there. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So that's pretty much this activity. Okay. Let's see what's the time of 10 there. All right. So coming back to this topic, right? Leading change. We know that change is inevitable, right? We know that's inevitable. I know you guys have worked in a couple of organizations, right? Have you all been to an organization where there was no change at all? Every day is the same thing. That means the organization was not going through any change. Have you all been to any such organizations? Right? My previous organization, right? I was there for 2 years. No, I was there for 4 years. I had like 8 bosses in 4 years. Every 6 months there's a new boss, there's a new direction, there's a new way of doing things, Yeah. So it changes the reason why it happens is because most people don't know what they're doing.
Yes. And I also think that even in my previous organization, there's this one thing, not managers, but there are rules that keep on changing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think when it keep on changing, it kind of like how to say, it disturbs or disrupts your own routine.
Yeah.
And the
Right.
change, it wasn't for good. It was a change caused by confusion.
Mm.
So yeah, sometimes when things happen that way,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it disrupts your growth over there, especially in organizations.
Yes, absolutely. And in organizations, they normally what happens is they respond to the changes in the environment.
Yeah.
Some things in the environment change, and then they all respond to it. And the response is what kind of like makes it a huge difference. Whether you are having a long-term thinking and responding to that, or short-term thinking, right? Most organizations, what do you think they do? Short-term. You know why? Because long term means you have to wait a long time before you see the result. Before that, you won't have a job. You have to show results immediately. That's the environment that we live in right now, right? Even you do training for that matter, right? People don't think about the long term effects of how the training is, for the individual. They will ask you to give assessment on the day, okay, whether the trainer is good or not, right? Oh, but it's pretty easy to get a very high assessment for the trainer. You just have to make the participant feel good at the end of the training. That's it. You get a high, But whether it is something that's sustainable the long term, or whether there's something that the person picked up, that's the important thing. Most organizations don't, pay attention to that. Yeah. So change is inevitable. But why is there, why change fails? Because we all are going through change after change after change, right? We go through a change, and then things doesn't work. Nobody's going to come and admit that it didn't work. What we decided earlier didn't work. They just say, "Oh, we got to change some more. We got to change some more," right? That's why change is constantly happening. Because whatever that you did earlier, it didn't work, so you got to change again. Didn't work, got to change again. Yeah. So there's something called the pitfalls, the common pitfalls, and we'll talk about what the common pitfalls are. And then the manager's dilemma. The manager's dilemma really is about, as a middle manager, you are right in the middle. Okay, you're right in the middle. You have the top management, right, giving you the strategies and the things for you to implement. And then you've got the people below you, that your team members, that you got to take care and help them navigate the change, right? And here these guys are pushing you and say, "Hey, I want this to be done," and here you are like, "My guys here are struggling. They haven't adapted to the previous change and the new change, and I'm facing the guys every day, You're not facing them, I'm facing them. So you're kind of sandwiched, and sometimes it's very unfair to the middle manager, right? So again, it's how do you balance the needs, right? And finally, why the resistance happens, the neuroscience of change. And I think maybe I'll talk about the neuroscience of change first. Why is there initial resistance to change? Why do you think we all resist change?